Naam, hujambo na karibu mtazamaji wa Gachi TV. Kama bado hujasubscribe, ilikuwa mwanafamilia wetu, bonyeza neno subscribe. Kutokea huko Geneva, Uswizi, Rais wa Jumuiya ya Muungano wa Mabunge Duniani IPU, Daktari TULIA amewataka wabunge hao kumheshimu kama yeye anavyowaheshimu. Ameyasema hayo baada ya kutokea kwa mvutano uliohusisha safari yake ya kwenda Urusi kuonana na Rais Putin. Mvutano ulianza baada ya mwakilishi wa Ukraine ATA kuomba ripoti kamili ya mchakato huo, ambapo mara kadhaa ATA alikuwa akimkatisha TULIA wakati akizungumza. Ndipo TULIA akamwambia, umeshazungumza, ulipata nafasi ya kuzungumza, niachie muda kwanza nilihutubie baraza kuu, nijibu maswali yaliyoulizwa kisha turudi kwenye ajenda. TULIA amesema alipaswa kuanza ziara yake ya kwenda Ukraine, lakini hilo halikufanyika kwa kuwa Rais Zelensky na spika wa taifa hilo walikuwa na ratiba ya kwenda New York. Hii hapa ndio video jinsi TULIA alivyofoka.
Is it working now, Ukraine? Okay, sorry, I have to do something. Just a second. Colleagues, a concern was raised by Iraq in respect of the report that I've just given you, and Iraq was questioning why did I visit Russia in the context of the war in Ukraine and not Gaza. I would like to inform my colleague that you might note that in November last year, I visited Palestine and I visited Israel and I met the leaders. That was my first visit after becoming president in October. So it's not like I have ignored what is happening in the Middle East, what is happening in Lebanon, what is happening in Gaza, and what happened in Israel. So I treat all the conflicts the same way. And you might also want to note the conflicts that we are talking about in the Middle East, the war that we are talking about in Ukraine, they are not the only conflicts that IPU is looking at. We are concerned about what is happening in Yemen. We are concerned about what is happening in Syria. We are concerned about what is happening in Sudan. We are concerned about what is happening in West Africa. We are concerned about what is happening in DRC. Lithuania asked specific questions. Who mandated you to visit Russia? Why not Ukraine first? The letters were sent out, dear colleagues. The letters were sent very explicitly. They explained, and if you need copies of those letters because they are not secrets, you can always have copies. Letters were sent to our counterparts in Ukraine. Letters were sent to our counterparts in Russia. My visit was to begin with Ukraine. Ukraine responded the dates that we were ready to visit them. Mr. Zelensky and Mr. Speaker would be in New York for the NATO meeting. Would I have stopped them? No. It would be wise. In any case, I don't have such powers. Now, because the meeting of BRICS was taking place, would I stop going to Russia because Ukraine is not ready to receive me because of time? No. Why? Because IPU stands for dialogue. IPU is talking about parliamentary diplomacy. And it is in that context that I did all that I did. And I thought I would be given a little credit for all the efforts that I've done. Not to be crucified for things that I have not. You're asking here who mandated me. Who mandated the former president who came from the 12 plus to visit Kiev? Who mandated him? Please, I think we have to reach a point where I have explained myself several times to you 12 plus, to everybody else who cared to understand. If you have a feeling like I went to Russia without going to Ukraine first, I have told you several times, letters were sent out. I wouldn't turn out my visit to Russia because I'm unable to reach Ukraine. You didn't ask me similar questions when I visited Israel, did you? You didn't ask me similar questions when I visited Palestine, did you? You're not going to ask me similar questions when I visit Sudan. You're not going to ask me similar questions when I visit other places. I think, colleagues, let's have trust. You have elected elected a president who is supposed to deliver to her mandate. You have elected a president who is supposed to deliver to her mandate, and I think you are dealing with me unjustifiably, which is not fair to anybody. The questions that you have been raising, I have responded them to the best of my knowledge and to the best of my objectivity in all this matter. And you must know, I would not have asked to meet Mr. Putin if it wasn't for Ukraine. My commitment to doing that, and this is not the first place I'm visiting. Why is it that is looking like I have met this person and therefore the president of IPU has all of a sudden become a monster? Please treat me with dignity the same way I am treating you with dignity. Advance parliamentary diplomacy. I will at all times give respect to the ideals of IPU, but I request you members to also accept I'm not God, I'm not an angel, I'm only human, I'm doing what is possible within my powers. The president of the task force has just informed you, and I have been repeating myself in this respect. I was requested by the task force to do what I did. What did I do wrong? I was supposed to sit back and tie my hands and say there's nothing we can do as IPU. That will not be doing justice to the women and children of Ukraine who are suffering. That wouldn't be fair to the mandate that you have given me. Give me a chance to lead this institution according to the ideals that we stand for. Not to crucify me just because I come from some country. Some of you maybe feel like we are still colonized in the mind. No. No, we are not. No, we are not. So please, let's respect each other. I'm doing the best that I can, and that is exactly what I'll do. That is my commitment to you. I will keep doing that. Thank you very much. Some issues have been raised here, very specifically wanting me to say, somebody said they want the full record. I did not record the meeting, so I don't have that record. Secondly, the resolutions were they have been shared several times, and I also mentioned them. Kidnapped children that are in Russia, that is an important issue to IPU. We have been working together with the task force, and we will keep working together to make sure children are returned to Ukraine. You have talked about written requests. I have responded to every request that comes to me. The good thing is when they come to me, they go to the Secretary General as well. There is no secret about this thing. If anybody wants more information, we have a whole file of all the communications. On the other hand, I have been asked here, Denmark asked me why I visited Russia while I haven't visited Ukraine. I have already expressed what actually happened. I believe, dear colleagues, this explanation puts at rest this matter so that you let me lead the institution you entrusted me to.